Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. I'm back this week with another little video update. I'm hoping that the more of these I make, the better at making them I become, and also the less I hate my own voice. I thought I would make a little video update because I actually don't have any progress on the next level just yet to show. I haven't heard back from my designer friend who's helping me with the design. I imagine he'll be getting back to me this week with a first draft that we'll go over. But until then, I wanted to make a little kind of in-betweener update for you, just so you can see. Also, because I did this thing last week that I really wanted to show off because I thought it was kind of cool. And it was much more involved in implementing than I ever imagined it would be. And that has to do with the enemy spawner. So I have, you can see here, spawn points, and that spawns the undead tree mob that you're so familiar with already. And in here, this is kind of what I wanted to show off. I'd actually made this a little while ago, but I added a new feature in just last week. I think it was on Friday. Basically, I set this spawn point up in the scene, like just drag it into the scene like this. And I can customize these controls, so we can customize the appearance and the behavior. For demonstrational purposes, I'm just going to make this an idle passive character. Let me just show you how it's been working as you're already familiar with it. Essentially, I would load this up with these different parameters to control the appearance and the behavior. And we would probably just see things like vines. And maybe, I don't know if in the demo or in the new areas we actually have this bark armor. But I'll show you that for now. So this is kind of what we're used to seeing right now. It's just something that looks like this. Yeah, so a character like this, maybe we'd see him in the forest already, wearing his armor. I think, he's passive. And the armor is randomly generated, so he could have full armor, chest armor, arm armor, leg armor, and different types of masks, or none of the above. You know, it kind of randomizes anytime he spawns. So that's like what we're used to seeing, and I think it's cool in general. Like, it has a good profile, it's recognizable, it's a little creepy, and he blends into the background pretty well. But it was always kind of missing a little, like, bulk, I guess, especially for some later areas where I would have liked to add some more substance, making them look more threatening, or maybe add extra elements on top of the characters, because right now he's just a skeleton, and he looks kind of fragile, and so it's not super threatening or hard to imagine that you can just knock these guys out in one thrust. So I wanted to add another element to it, and that's what I did last week. I added this part over here called the body. And the body is essentially a layer that goes over the entire character. It's essentially like a character model that just goes over the character itself. Let me just turn that on. I'll turn the bark armor off. And now I'll be using this body texture here. I'm putting vines for now, but I can show you kind of the cool part of this afterwards. It didn't used to have this, but now we have a character who has a more powerful silhouette, a more humanoid silhouette, I guess. And it's made up of vines at this point because I put a vine texture on it. But it is basically a layer on top of the entire skeleton that is essentially a body layer. And I can put whatever I want on that. I don't know, maybe, hopefully you can tell already, but he looks a little more threatening. To me anyway, like a little more substantial. Like he's not so easy to push around. Still has that like vine aesthetic and all that. So maybe like more threatening enemies I'll add this to. I think in the demo it's just skeleton. There's no vines or anything, so they look pretty wimpy and, you know, not that threatening. But as you go along, I want to start adding in this layer to show that it's going to be a little more of a substantial fight, especially like maybe in the areas where you're trying to avoid, you're trying to sneak around them and stuff. It'll be nice to have more of a threatening appearance to indicate that they're going to do more damage to you or something. So that's just the vines. The cool thing that I like about adding these layers is I can basically add anything to these layers. So let me add another one. So the body to true, I'll keep the vines on, and I'll change this to be, let's see. I have all of these sorts of different textures in the game already that we haven't even seen. I'm going to set a couple different layouts up here, just to give you an idea. So that's 3 variations. I could really put any texture on this body element of the character. Let me just think of one more, actually, just for some more variety. I guess I'll add moss on this one. Okay, so we'll see what this looks like. Hopefully I can walk around these guys. I could probably push them around. Okay, so we'll hit play. Oh, let me make them all unthreatening as well. So now that I've set those parameters up, we'll jump in and we'll get kind of a cool variety of enemies here. They'll have the vines still, so they look pretty similar. But for example, this one, he's got kind of like, actually, you know what? Hold on, let me just customize this. I'm going to change the vines to this as well, because I think I have I have this hanging moss texture. Let's see what that looks like. That might be cooler. Yeah. So now he kind of looks like Swamp Thing, like a swamp creature. So he's got the whole layer, the body layer on him, and it's covered in muck. And he's also got a different texture swap for the vines that are on those other guys. And he looks a little more like he belongs in the swamp. So maybe like the swamp characters, I'll deck out like this. So there's still a skeleton underneath. Maybe I'll make the texture a little more transparent so you can see more of the skeleton silhouette. But yeah, that'd be like a swamp variation. This one, I think this guy actually looks pretty cool, I think. I'll put something like this maybe in the next area, the farm, where there's a lot of hay and stuff and grass and stuff like that. This one here, I don't know, this looks like an Iron Maiden sort of thing. I don't know if I'll use that. It's kind of weird that it bends, like even though it's metal. It still looks kind of cool though. And also just the fact that it's like a surprise, like when you see this coming at you and you've never seen it looking like that before, it'll be sort of confusing, I think, as a first impression. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just like showing this kind of variation so the player never really knows what to expect, or they don't really know quite what they're looking at. And of course we have the regular vines guy here. So yeah, there's a whole array of things I can add to these characters to give them a little more diversity. And then of course their behavior can vary as well. Like these guys are all passive, like they're not going to do anything. Hopefully. Let's see. I think they'll all get mad at me. No, they're fine. I guess when they're passive, yeah, even I don't know how they work. When they're passive, they don't react at all. That's kind of nice. Kind of just looks at you for a minute and then... But yeah, I feel like I can get really creative with these. I have a lot of textures in the game that no one's ever seen before. Let's see if I can change this one up to something. Like there's a lot of different details in here. Like I have this blood here. I wonder what that would look like. And while we're at it, let's change this to be something else. This bark might look better actually. It's fun just to play around with it, honestly. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I guess it kind of works. Still kind of looks, he just looks dirty now, I guess. But that'd be another cool option for the swamp. So this guy, he looks infected, right? That's kind of silly, actually. I don't know, it's kind of cool just to see the diversity. And maybe like associate these different looks with the different areas. Especially, I really like this look. This looks really cool. That's actually just the roof texture for the cottages from the swamp. That I just stuck there, but it ends up giving it this cool, like, I don't know, midsummer kind of look. Let's see if I can come up with anything a little more interesting. I've just got so many like textures in the game. A lot of these detail textures that are meant just to slap on top of things. Let's see what it looks like covered in leaves. That could be fun. The leaves, is it showing up? Oh, I know what's happening. The leaf texture doesn't tile actually. Whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. It's just to show the thing that's happening here. So we have all this nice diversity now with the characters. Basically just had to add into the prefab this body layer and plug that into my character customization system. And I think it's pretty effective. It looks cool. It definitely makes them look more like humanoids than just like little wimpy skeletons that you could just push around. I really like this guy. He looks cool. That just ended up looking really neat. But yeah, I'll play around with it so you can look forward to seeing these different types of creatures, different types of the tree undead. I guess while we're here, this is the intro area. I already showed you guys screenshots of it, but I guess I can run through it really quick. It's just this kind of dreamlike, misty area and just some more remnants of the swamp in here. I won't go all the way through this. I'll just show you this intro part. We have our first implementation of a crouch. I want to make more like little cozy crawly holes to sneak through and stuff, kind of like a Pan's Labyrinth where she crawls into the tree sort of thing. We'll see how far I get with that, but I'd like to do stuff like that. And we have a poor soul here who got crushed. Yeah, I won't go any further than that. We'll see what that looks like when I finish the farm. Oh. I feel like I could make that go down further. Whatever. Anyway. That's pretty much all I wanted to show you. I really just wanted this to be quick. I want to do more of these like kind of off the cuff kind of videos because I really want to get used to making videos and talking to myself long form, because that would help me with making tutorials and stuff as well. I tend to have trouble getting these started. Like just before I get started, I take like a couple takes to get started. You know, getting mad at myself for saying stupid things in the beginning or whatever. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So hopefully you like that. I really am happy to get that in finally, this new character customization element to the undead, because I think that diversity is going to be pretty welcome and surprising and fun for people to experience for the first time. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. I hope to have a lot more news on the farm in my next post, or even sooner. Maybe I'll make another post once I hear back from my friend. And yeah, look forward to more news in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.